Seventh console generation was generation when almost all of the big video games became primarily developed for gaming consoles. For many, publishers' PC version of games became afterthought, often made by some external studios instead of developers themselves. And we saw some truly terrible PC version. Locked frame rate on 30 FPS, lack of resolution support, or locked resolution, bad graphics, bad controls, or outright something that made the game completely unplayable. GTA 4 is amazing open world gangster game that is notorious for its bad PC port, but I'm talking about other open world gangster game that was released in 2008. Sains Row 2, with which I had much worse experience than with GTA 4. For start, Saints Row 2 PC version was released in 2009, almost 4 months after console version. But even with this delay, PC version is inferior experience. For a start, some atmospheric effects from console version are not present here, and game is running poorly. I have about 60 to 30 FPS on hardware, much more superior to the one that was out at the time. What is even worse is the fact that the game is never using more than 50% of GPU, but frame rate is terrible. And it's using mostly 2 cores, but that was normal at the time, so I can take this badly. Also, sound effects are missing, well, few, and music and voice are in really low quality. There was some brutal compression here. It's just not good. It sounds worse than Deus Ex that I played recently.
Awake.
You're shitting me.
Come see for yourself.
How long has it been?
Years. I stopped keeping track a while ago.
Can't believe it's been that long.
Time flies when you're watching someone breathe through a tube.
How's the family?
My wife's cheating on me with an altar exec, and my daughter sits in her room listening to Aisha albums all day.
And here come wars. In my case, game is completely ignoring some inputs. I cannot shoot when I'm outside of car. And if you ever play a game like GTA, you know that shooting is kinda important in these games. I cannot finish even first mission because of it. I had in Steam Cloud some save games so I can play, but I cannot do any missions. This is completely game breaking bug, and I wasn't able to find any solution on internet. There is famous mod compilation called Gentlemen of the Row. That is fixing many problems with the game. It helped with frame rate a bit. And it has a lot of new things, but it didn't fix problem with input. I even tried using gamepad, but in the end I was forced to play game on other machine. And it worked. Kinda. I noticed that the game is running fast when you have about 60 FPS, or animations are broken. But if you have my luck, it will not happen because you will not have about 60 FPS.
When Alter got involved, the clothing company. After Hughes was killed in that bombing of yours, Alter picked up the pieces. Now they're everywhere. On TV, on billboards, in stores. Hell, if you ever forget who Alter is...
Do not be only negative, I didn't have a single crash. Which is interesting because Windows 10 and older games are not really great combination. But what really happened that we get this sad excuse of game port? Well, firstly, as expected, PC port were made by Volition, developer of game, by a rather small company called CD Projekt. They made this small RPG game called Wiedźmin, maybe you heard about it. Anyhow, Volition didn't have much to say about this port because it was all decided by THQ, publisher of the game. After release, game didn't get any update or even DLCs that console versions got, and was let to die by publisher. THQ at the time had some financial issues, so they focused on Sains Row 3. That got really great PC port, and this one was made by Volition themselves. Unfortunately, after release of Sains Row 3, THQ went bankrupt, and source code of PC port was lost. Right to franchise were bought by Deep Silver, and they released Sains Row 4. And good news at the end. After all these years, source code of Saints Row 2 PC port was found, and Volition promised to fix it, along with PC port of all Saints Row 2 DLCs. And all of these should be free for players that already own game on Steam. I will definitely give the game another shot when this patch is released. If you want to play Saints Row 2 today, play Xbox version or wait for PC patch. And if you like what you saw and heard, maybe consider like or subscribe.